On June 24th, 2021, at around 11 a.m., the Montgomery County Police Department received a call reporting a missing person. The caller stated that Geoffrey Biddle, the CEO of their company, had sent a suspicious email the day before and had not shown up for work, which was highly unusual. Concerned about his well-being, employees contacted Biddle's close friends and business partner, who agreed to visit Biddle's home to check on him. Upon arriving at the residence, the friend noticed Biddle's vehicle in the driveway and found the front door unlocked. After searching the main and upper levels of the house without finding Biddle, the friend discovered Biddle's cell phone next to his wallet on the kitchen island. The wallet was open and the credit cards were missing, raising further alarm. With no sign of Biddle, the friend contacted the police, who then arrived at the scene, which was recorded on the following body cam.
I grabbed my first aid bag just in case.
1 hour 30.
Yeah. Front window's open.
Oh, Lord.
1 hour 13.
All spider web.
Yeah.
Can I give you a shout right back? I just ran all that call. All right, thank you, dear. Bye.
Yeah, the cat's right there.
Cat's there?
No.
No. I saw the toys in the background. County Police, hello!
Do you want the air?
No, not yet. County Police, Mr. Biddle!
Oh, wait, I guess.
That was the door they were on.
Director's helpline.
20, can you have 25 start talking to the neighbors who are in the house?
Only one missed call?
11:20.
When's garbage day in this area?
No idea.
This is clean.
It's clean. That's me.
Yeah.
Hello? I heard it.
Okay. smells like it was recently sprayed.
There's
Like cologne.
Fresh cat poop on the floor. Missed the box.
Well, this is just from like his.
It's like preparing to go.
I think there's stairs out there.
I'm gonna risk it.
Oh.
Office space. Sorry. I'm too wide. Yeah, need something here there.
Female shoes. He obviously doesn't live alone.
Right.
Maybe he's renting.
That's when he has the backdrops for photography.
Photos.
Yeah.
I guess we'll check the basement. It's probably little man syndrome.
It's some sort of catch.
Can you unlock it?
No. Ooh. Hands right.
What? Can we go down?
Yep, hang tight there. Alright, I'm trying to figure it out.
Figure what out?
No updates of the tag.
Cause of death. Go ahead and make notifications for major crimes.
Okay. Homicide first or medical?
Homicide.
Officers arrived at the scene to find Biddle's lifeless body on the ground, covered in a significant amount of blood that also stained the basement area. Biddle's death was immediately confirmed, and the homicide section of the Montgomery County Police Department took charge of the investigation upon discovering multiple .22 caliber shell casings. During their inquiries, detectives learned from friends and employees of Biddle that one of his business partners had access to both his personal and business finances. Detectives, suspecting foul play, asked the business partner to review Biddle's bank accounts for any suspicious activity. The partner's examination revealed a check from Biddle's personal account made out to Billy Phillips, dated on June 20th, 2021. This raised red flags since Billy Phillips was no longer associated with the company. Further investigation uncovered several checks issued to Billy Phillips around the time of Geoffrey Biddle's death. With this compelling evidence, detectives apprehended Billy Phillips and brought him in for questioning.
All right. I know you've been arrested before. Okay, so I'm going to read you this form. Okay, it's pretty standard stuff. Okay. And then I'm going to step out for a minute, and then I'll be back in and give you a copy of everything. We can talk, all right?
For sure.
So, Phillips, Billy. They're not going to believe that your real name is Billy. J. What is your physical condition right now? Like, are you okay? Okay. And you said you were sober. When did you last take your Adderall?
This morning.
What's your highest level of education?
I graduated high school and I've got some
college?
well, not college, vocational.
Okay.
Auto mechanic, welding.
So we'll say high school / vocational. Okay, it is 6:20. 6:29:21. And do you read or write any other languages other than English?
No, sir.
But you do read, write, and speak the English
Yes,
language,
sir.
correct? Okay. Alright. You have the right now and at any time to remain silent. Anything you say may be used against you. You have the right to a lawyer before and during any questioning. If you cannot afford a lawyer, one will be appointed for you. You have the right to be taken promptly before a district court commissioner who is a judicial officer not connected with the police. The commissioner will inform you of each offense you are charged with and the penalties for each offense, provide you with a written copy of the charges against you, advise you of your right to counsel, make a pre-trial custody determination, and advise you whether you have a right to a preliminary hearing before a judge at a later time. Do you understand what I just said?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to write yes here because you said yes. Okay? Right. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. Alright, Billy. Do you know why you're here?
Not exactly.
What do you mean by not exactly? Do you have some idea?
They told me I was under arrest and that I would be talked to when I got here.
They didn't tell you what you're under arrest for?
No, sir.
Did they tell you you had a warrant?
They did.
But they didn't tell you what it was about?
No, sir.
You don't have any idea what it would be about? So you're here about some checks that you deposited. Okay.
Okay.
Have you deposited any checks lately?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Why do you sound like that?
I could explain it to you, but you probably wouldn't get it.
Well, why don't you try? Because I've heard a lot of shit, so maybe I would.
I deposited checks that I shouldn't have deposited, mainly out of desperation with new baby on the way and back was against the wall.
Whose checks did you deposit?
Steve Willard's.
Steve Phillips. Did they go through or did they bounce?
They went through.
Okay. How much were they for?
Normally like 25.
Okay. How did you come into possession of the checks?
Again, that's some of the checks I already had
Okay.
in my possession. They were given to me, and then certain things happened.
So you mean they were like legitimate checks that he wrote to you?
They were given to me in case of emergencies.
So blank checks.
Okay, with the understanding that okay, let's not write the bank off here.
Okay.
Okay, but let's again, it was in case of emergency. I mean, I worked really close with the man
Okay. How long did you work for him for?
since 2016. Yep, 2016, 2017.
Until
2020, July sometime.
Why'd you leave?
Well, he went crazy. There's no other way to say it.
I mean, I've talked to the guy, so like
He went. They said it was well, he said it was what's it called when you have the mood swing back and forth.
bipolar.
Bipolar.
Mm-hmm.
However, you know, it being as close as I was to him and talking, it was more like paranoid, schizophrenic.
Yeah. What was he paranoid about?
A lot of people in the company.
Cell fire.
Yes, sir. Okay. And
what was he paranoid? Like, what about people in the company?
well, certain people coming after his position, trying to take over, trying to screw him over with the board, and so on and so forth. And unfortunately, you know, he was right that they were trying to do that, and my job was monitoring and giving him information.
Were you like an IT auditor?
I wasn't an auditor. I was more of a jack of all trades IT personnel.
Okay. How much was he paying you?
83 a year.
Okay. Plus health insurance and all that?
Plus health insurance. And then what kind of went sideways was Marie. And Marie got sick. She had an episode back in February. She had another episode. And I covered for her. And ended up getting, putting my ass in the sling. And Mr. Willard, who had given me standing orders if anything were to ever happen again with Marie to handle it this way and then report to him. Well, he was at there's a psych ward up north.
In Sykesville?
Well, were you being funny?
No, there's literally one in Sykesville, Maryland.
No, there's Shepherd Pratt.
Shepherd in Baltimore.
Okay, so he was Shepherd Pratt, and so I couldn't get in touch with him.
Steve was?
Yes.
Okay.
And then when he finally got back, he pretty much kind of threw his hands up. That there was nothing that he could do, but still asked for my help with what he was dealing with the company since I had the information. So I kind of got screwed just by, if I helped one person, I was damned. If I helped another person, I was damned.
Okay.
And so, having held on to those, I mean, those were given to me a couple of years prior, and something I shouldn't have done, but.
How much money was it for? What was the total? Roughly. $20,000.
Something like that. I mean, if you put them all together.
Yeah, like I said, roughly. I don't expect you to know that off the top of your head. So are Steve Willard's checks the only checks that you've cashed? Or deposited? I'll say cash and deposit, and I use them kind of indeterminate,
There was.
You thinking?
I'm trying to.
Okay. if I showed you some pictures of some checks, might they jog your memory?
The thing is,
Who's Geoff Biddle?
guy I used to work for.
You ever cash any of his checks?
I have.
Have you ever forged any checks from Geoff to yourself?
Twice.
Okay, when was that?
I don't even know when that was.
What do you mean I know when that was?
It was recently.
How recent?
Last week.
Okay. It's kind of shitty timing, isn't it? That's kind of shitty timing, isn't it? How do you know Geoff? You said you used to work for him?
Yes.
This is kind of like a shitty printout. I'll see if I can get you a better one, but do you recognize that picture?
Yes, sir.
So this one is a check that you deposited into an ATM at the Navy Federal over in Crown.
Yes.
Okay. I know it's kind of hard to make it out over here. Here's a better picture of it. It's for $9,500.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you deposited it on, it looks like, you can't read it here very well, but it's on June 23rd, which was last Wednesday, at 11:53 p.m. Okay, this one you deposited, I believe, with the teller on June 23rd for $4,450. June 23rd, Navy Federal. There's no time on here, but I believe it was somewhere around 1 o'clock. Could be wrong about that. I mean, I have the records, but... Where did you get those checks?
What, Geoff's checks?
Mm-hmm.
See, this is where I'm real scared right this second.
Okay. Why are you scared?
And I mean, you've been nice to me. Everybody's been nice. I want to talk to my fiance.
Okay.
Okay.
I can see about that. So, I can see you're getting kind of emotional. So, I'm just going to ask, you know what happened to Geoff, right?
I do, and that was, I didn't do anything.
Okay. Well, I'm going to stop you there. We'll talk about that in a second. Okay? We'll get to that in a second. Alright? Bill, you seem like a nice guy, man. Like, there's nothing personal going on here. Okay? Like, I'm not being nice to you as an act. I don't think anybody's been nice to you as an act. If you were a I would be one.
I understand.
Okay?
It's okay if I drink the water we were talking.
Absolutely, absolutely. But why is Geoff's card in your wallet? See, Billy, the thing is that things happen, and things have happened, okay? And everything that happens for a reason, you know? And, you know, Jeff's dead, okay? And somebody killed him. It was a murder, okay? And I know that you were there. And I can prove it. I can prove it to you right here that you were there. But before we get there, okay, like, everybody has all this nice shit to say about Jeff. You know what I mean? Like, that's really the story here that we have so far, is how nice of a guy Jeff is, and how, like, I can't believe he had no enemies. I can't believe anybody would do this to him. And there's a reason what happened to him happened to him. I'm not saying because, like, he was a bad guy and made enemies with you or anybody else, okay? But, you know, obviously, like, you're in a situation in your life where there's a certain level of desperation, okay? I know Steve Willard fired you. You know, whether it was because you did something wrong or he was going crazy is kind of irrelevant.
Well, he didn't. Right.
Well, his HR got rid of you. Okay, again, whether it was for a legitimate reason or not, that still puts you in a f***ed up situation financially. You got a new kid on the way, and you're strapped for cash. Okay, so I can completely understand, you know, like, how you're in this spot. You have a history, obviously, with Steve of stealing checks or, you know, writing fraudulent checks. Jeff's got money. You go there with the intention of taking his checks, and maybe he's home when he's not supposed to be, and something happens. You know, maybe you're like, you know, you did prison time, right, in Virginia. You don't want to go back to prison, and shit gets out of control and out of hand. That's a very different story than, like, you know, Billy's a monster that went to Jeff's house and brutally murdered him for no reason. Okay, those are two very different stories. All right, but here's the problem. I'm going to show you some records, and I'm going to show you how I know that you were there. Obviously, you cashed the checks on the day of the murder, 6/23. Well, you did one on, it looks like you did one on 6/25. I don't know if it just posted 6/25, but you did the two on 6/23, and, like, you know, that obviously is going to raise some red flags. So then we start looking at some things. Sorry, I got so much shit here. That's going to take me a minute to find what I'm looking for.
Am I not supposed to be
What? Not supposed to what?
looking over there?
Yeah, dude, I would be trying my damnedest if I was you to be looking at everything I got. So, I'm going to show you everything here, okay? A lot of it's financial stuff. Checks. A lot of it's the same copy of the same check, just so you know. Like, I don't have like 50 checks here that I'm saying that you did. A lot of it's just the same check copied in different ways. Who's that?
That's me.
Who's that?
Me. Me.
You're wearing damn near the same shit you're wearing now.
Yep, me. That's me. That's me. That's Mr. Biddle.
Okay. I need your federal account records. You don't need to go through that right now. There's something specific I'm looking for to show you. So these records are from Jeff's phone, okay? Go ahead in a second. Have the scoop closer to you? Mm-hmm. Alright, so I want you to look at the date, okay? So 6/22, that's the day before Jeff was killed. Okay? This is at 10:20 p.m. Probably goes to sleep sometime after here. Okay? 6:23 at 5:55 a.m. He Googles Good Day Sunshine, which is a song.
Okay.
Alright? 6:23, 5:55, Good Day Sunshine. He searches for it again. 6:23, 2021, YouTube. 6:23, 5:55, Good Day Sunshine. He's listening to the song. Here he starts listening to the Beatles. Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun. Back to YouTube at 6 o'clock. Here at 6 o'clock. Then right here, 6:23 at 6:59 a.m. What's that? Can you read that?
SunTrust.
He goes to his SunTrust account.
Okay.
Right here, same exact time. He probably clicked another link on his SunTrust account. Okay. This is from his phone. Put that aside for a second. Here's his call logs. All right. 6:22, 6:22. These are all incoming calls. 6:23 at 7:58 a.m. He makes a call to that number. Do you know what that number is? It's SunTrust.
Okay.
This is the only time that Geoff Biddle has called SunTrust from his cell phone, going back to 2018.
Okay.
Okay. This is the last phone call his cell phone makes. Okay.
All right.
Now I want to move on for a second. Let me show you the bottom half. This is a forwarded email. The top half was forwarded to my partner. Okay. At 9:07 a.m., an email goes from Geoff to some of the membership of PSI.
Okay.
Had a family emergency come up this morning. More than likely we've out of reach today. Apologize for the short email and will be in touch when I can. Thanks, Geoff. So when they got this email, immediately they became suspicious because Geoff wasn't supposed to work on this day. What I know about Geoff and what I'm sure you know about him is that he's a workaholic. So he's always at work. Well, he took off on Wednesday the 23rd. He was going on a date with this girl he just started dating. We were supposed to be going all day. So right away, the company is like, you know what I mean? Like, that's weird. And then Thursday comes around and he doesn't show up for work. And that's when the police get called and he's found dead. All right. But a couple things about this email that I think are pretty important. So whoever wrote this email would have to know enough about Geoff and the company to know who to send it to, but not know enough to know that Geoff wasn't supposed to work or be in touch at all on Wednesday anyways. You see what I mean by that?
Mm-hmm.
This is just another copy of the email. What kind of car were you driving today?
Light Beamer. X3.
Whose car is that?
Marie's.
Marie's. Is it it's registered to like her dad or something, right?
Yes.
You were driving, I think 2 days ago, we had you on video with Sunoco too driving. You drive that car often?
Yes.
Yeah. So the times on this camera are a tad off. You know how some of those cameras can be? But at 7:02 a.m., this car goes by Geoff's house. So this camera is the corner house, which is the one next to Geoff's.
Okay.
So this is Geoff's street. Okay? So right around the same time that SunTrust website, accesses this car, which right now, I can't see the tag on this, okay? But that's your car. I know it's your car. Going by. Then that email sent at 9:07. All right? No other emails or any text messages go out from Geoff's phone. $9:20 in the morning. It's a bad picture because it's a still shot I took from a video, okay? But this is you walking away from his house. And when we get your cell phone records back, I know exactly what they're gonna say. You're an IT guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you know how cell phones work, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know that their apps are always updating. They're always trying to reach out to Wi-Fi and reach out to update.
Mm-hmm.
So we get this data called timing advance data.
Mm-hmm.
So about every 30 or so seconds, your phone is reaching out. I know what your cell phone's going to come back and say. I don't have it yet. I don't have the records back yet. So that's how I know that you were there when Geoff was killed. So the question is, like I said, did you go there and kill him because you have me fooled and you're just a monster? Or did you go there because you're desperate for something and things got out of hand? And this is your opportunity, to tell that side of the story. They say there's two sides to every story. Well, if the side that I had was favorable to you already, you wouldn't be here. You know what I'm saying? So this is it, man. This is your shot to tell us what happened. You know, I know what happened. I don't know all the details. I don't know how it happened. And I don't know why it happened. But this is your chance to maybe put a little bit of an explanation on it, because people want to know, and people are going to be asking, and it matters. You know, maybe there's a reason for why what happened, or maybe there isn't. But there's only 2 people who know the answer to that, and one of them's dead.
And the other one's a convicted felon.
I don't care that you're a convicted felon at all. That has nothing to do with why you're here. You know, I mean, like, I don't, like, yes, you're a convicted felon, you're a convicted bank robber, but that was a long time ago. Okay? And you're not here because I was like, oh shit, Billy did a bank robbery, he must have killed Jeff.
No.
You're here because everything lines up. The evidence puts you there. I mean, that also goes to show that, like, this wasn't some pre-planned out horrific thing. Like, you did a awful job. If it, you know, it would have mean that this is a pre-planned thing. But it looks bad because you're a big dude. You're 36 years old. He's a 66-year-old man killed in his house. It fucking looks bad, man. You know? And you're wearing the same fucking clothes that you're wearing at the bank. You're wearing the same clothes that you're wearing on that video. You know, like, nothing here looks good for you. But again, the thing you have to hold on to is that there might be a reason for this. Like, you didn't mean for this to happen. I mean, or maybe you did, and I'm wrong, and you're just a fool. You know, but, like, you don't strike me as that. I mean, the guys who took you into custody out by your apartment, you know, they called me right away, right? And they're like, dude, this guy is as nice as can be. You've been as nice and as respectful as can be here. Like, I'm younger than you, and you're calling me sir and shit. Like, you don't have to do that anyways, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not sir, I'm just Pete. But, like, you know, there's no question that you did this. There isn't. Or that you were there.
I was there, but I didn't kill him.
So what happened? If you were there but you didn't kill him, what happened?
And this is the part that just...
So that's you on video. What happened? Was somebody else with you?
No.
Okay. Did he shoot himself?
No.
Okay. I know he didn't shoot himself because of where he was shot and how many times he was shot. So what the fuck happened? I know he was alive between 6 and 7. I know what time you got there. Okay? I know he didn't make that call to SunTrust unless he did it because you made him do it. You have his card in your wallet. You cashed his checks that you forged to yourself the day he was murdered. And I'm not yelling at you to yell at you or be an asshole, but, like, I'm trying to get it through your head that, like, this is, you know, and I'm giving you the chance to tell me what happened. Because, you know, if you don't give me the chance, if you don't tell me what happened, you know what it looks like. And you know what they're going to say. You know, I can't make you any promises, man, but, like, you're looking at, like, this is serious. You think your bank robbery was bad? How much time did you do for that? 7. You think that was bad? Bro, you're looking at going to prison for the rest of your fucking life. You know? Because the way it looks is it looks like you broke into this house, you kidnapped this man, and you held him hostage for 2 hours and murdered him in cold blood, and then cashed his checks on not only the day of the murder, but 2 days later. How does that look? You know, it frustrates me because I know there's a reason. Like, I know you didn't just go there to kill that dude. Because I believe, because you have some working knowledge of his company and his work habits because you used to work for him, that you had no idea he was going to be there. I don't think you went there to hurt him. I think you went there to steal checks.
Actually, I knew he was...
So you knew he was going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So how did you end up there at 7 o'clock in the morning? Why did you go there? I mean, this is it, Billy. Like, right now, sitting here talking to me, this is the biggest moment of your life. Okay? It's bigger than when your daughter was born last month or earlier this month. This is the biggest moment of your life right now.
But there's just no way.
There's no what? You're sitting here telling me I didn't do it, I didn't this, I didn't that, but you're not giving me anything other than, like, give me something here. Give yourself something here. You know what I mean? Like, this is your chance to explain what happened. Because it doesn't look good. And it looks horrible. You know? But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there just isn't a reason. Maybe that's why you can't tell me anything. Because maybe you did just go there to kill him because you were mad at him. Is that not what happened?
No, that's not what happened, Pete.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, Pete. Call me Pete. That's my name. Okay? You don't need to call me detective or sir or anything. Call me Pete. Like...
See, no matter what I do, you're not going to believe me. It won't matter.
Well, you haven't told me anything, Billy. Like, you say that, but you haven't told me anything. All you've told me is that you were there. But then you won't say, and you said nobody else was there. So it's not like you went there with somebody else. All you've told me is that you were there, which I already knew. And then it won't matter. That's all you've said. So, you say that, but how do you know? Like, I'm telling you, man, I'm not lying to you. This is your one opportunity to put out there what happened. Because everything's going to change after this. How did we get from Jeff listening to Here Comes the Sun by the Beatles to you sitting here in the homicide unit of the Montgomery County Police, talking about what happened? How did that... There's a story behind that. And dude, quite honestly, man, and I'm not just saying this, I've been completely surprised by your demeanor since we first met. I didn't expect you to be like the way that you are. I expected you to be an asshole, to be like, I completely like was thrown off by like, that's why I came and sat here and ate with you. I don't normally do that, but I'm like, man, like this dude's in a shitty spot, and I was always gonna buy you food because it's the right thing to do, and I can't starve you here. But I was like, I need to sit down and eat with this dude because like, I feel fucking horrible about what's about to come and what's about to happen. But bro, you're not giving me anything here. You're not giving yourself anything here. Like, you know what happened. Like, you know how it happened. You're the only one that can put those pieces together. Because again, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and be like, oh, you can just explain your way out of this and it'll all be okay.
I'm not.
But the fact is that, like, again, there's a huge difference between, there's a lot of, like, when things happen, when people get shot or whatever, like, there's a lot of different reasons. Like, on one end of the spectrum, you have, like, where, like, somebody shoots and kills somebody in self-defense, right? That happens. And on the other end of the spectrum, you have a serial killer. That just kills people just to kill them. There's a huge space in between. And I don't think you meant to kill Jeff at all, okay? But I think something got out of hand, and what happened. But, dude, I'm telling you, if this is the spectrum, with what I have, what I've seen, okay, what that crime scene looks like, and you sitting here and not telling me anything, it looks closer to this end of the spectrum than this end. Okay, when maybe the truth is somewhere in here. But only you can put that out there. Only you can give that. Only you can give yourself that chance. Give yourself, like, help yourself here, man. Like, I'm throwing you a line. With the amount of evidence that I have, and I know that I don't have yet, but that I will have because I've been doing this for a while, and I know how these things unfold. Okay, like, I know what's gonna come in the future. Evidence-wise, at least I can take a pretty good guess. Like, I didn't even have to come in here and talk to you today. You know, you could have gone straight up the road. But that's not really how I operate. You know, I believe there's always a reason for something. I mean, dude, I know the circumstances behind your bank robbery thing. Like, I read the report, I talked to the investigator. Like, clearly that was the act of a desperate man. That was not a fucking bank, you know, like a serial bank robber or something you see on TV. You know, Cash and Steve Willard checks. I know about all that. I mean, obviously that's not why we're here. I don't think there's any mystery why we're here. You know, Cash and Jeff checks, like, or stealing checks from Jeff. Like, you got no job, or, well, you may have a job, but you've gotten fired from one. You got a baby on the way. I know how stressful that can be, even in the best of circumstances. And so do you, because you have other kids. You know? I can understand why you would go try to steal or try to, you know, do what you have to do to feed yourself and your family. You know, and I understand, because I've been doing this job for a while, that sometimes shit just happens and it just gets out of hand. And you don't intend for something to happen, but it does. You know? But again, I can't stress it enough, man. Like, it's only you that can make that a reality. It's only you that can put that out there. Because what we have right now don't look good. His card is in your wallet.
I know it is.
You know, you deposited $94 cash, okay, from a man who religiously kept around $100 in his wallet. So even if you didn't take the money out of his wallet, it looks like you did. You took his checks, you took his card, and probably his cash. And he's dead. I mean, that doesn't look good. Are you a monster?
No, I'm not a monster.
Okay. Are you a cold-blooded killer?
No.
Okay. Then something happened. You know, maybe something got out of hand. Maybe Jeff, you got there, Jeff fought back. You know, I don't know. Maybe you're like, this guy knows me, like, I don't want to go back to prison, and shit just went south. You know, and you shot him once, and then you're like, well, I gotta kill him now.
I don't even have a gun.
Then how are you there and he ends up shot 4 times? Maybe he had the gun. You know, like, that's what I'm saying, Billy. Is like, you're a convicted felon, and I don't say that to be an asshole. I say that because I know how hard it can be for a convicted felon to get a gun. You know, so it totally makes sense that you wouldn't have a gun. Maybe he had the gun. Maybe you went to his house, there's a disagreement, he pulls out a gun, you're a big dude, you get it away from him, and shit goes. Maybe that's what happened. But, like, you're not giving me that. I mean, I just spun that up in my head, but I see how that could be a possibility. But you're not giving me that. What it looks like is that you went there with a gun and you fucking killed him. So if that's not what happened, tell me. Because this is the only shot you're going to have. Why don't we just go back to how you got the checks? How did those 3 checks come into your possession? Like 7 o'clock, you pull onto the street. What happens from there? What happens when you get there? Walk me through it.
Pete, I'm scared to death right this second.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's talk about that.
I want to trust you. Okay. I do.
Okay.
And legitimately, I have an explanation.
Okay.
It's not great. It's still bad.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, then what you need to do is trust yourself. You don't need to worry about trusting me. Okay.
But you're asking me, okay,
Mm-hmm.
And you know, every single time, hell, even Willard told me, you know, to not say anything and ask for an attorney. But I've always felt that, you know, just talking to somebody, you know, being upfront is always the better option. But
Well, Billy, the thing is, man, is like,
and I don't want to be labeled as a monster because I'm not a monster.
so that's what I'm telling you, bro. Is
But
that
they're already labeling me a monster.
nobody's labeled you anything. Okay, it's just me and you here. Okay, nobody knows you're here except for me and the guys that I work with. And,
Hell,
you know.
my fiance and
Well,
my son though.
Well, there's nothing we can do about that. Okay.
You know, but
Except put the right picture out there. Don't put the monster picture out there. That's not what it is. Let's put the right picture out there.
but see, you're not gonna believe you're not gonna believe it. I don't have a gun. I'm sorry, I just don't have one.
Okay.
Okay. Now, how I came into the checks it was the same day. Okay.
Okay. Well, here's the thing, man. Is like, it doesn't necessarily. Like, you're sitting here saying I'm not going to believe you. We haven't told me yet. First of all. Second of all, like, bro, like, there's only one way to go here, and that's up, because it looks up. So tell me what happened. Tell me how you got there. Tell me how you got the checks. Put the story out there. This is your chance to write your side of the story. You know? And you don't have to trust me to believe that that's the truth. Like, this is your shot to write your side of the story. I understand you want to tell your story, man. So why don't we start with something easy? What time did you get there?
It was before 8 o'clock.
Okay. How far before 8 o'clock?
I didn't kill anybody, Pete.
So what happened? You said you got there before 8 o'clock. How did you get in the house?
This is my life. I can't afford to have it all twisted up, man.
Well, that's what I'm saying, man. This is your life. And this is a pivotal moment of it. And this is your chance to explain how we got here.
But even if I explain it and I show you and I tell you I didn't do it, I'm still going to be charged for it, and now it's going to be up to the damn courts. So the courts.
How did you get in the house?
To the front door.
Was it locked or unlocked?
It was unlocked.
You rang the doorbell?
I knocked on the door a few times.
The front door?
Yes.
Alright, so then what happened? What happened after you knocked on the door?
I'm not a monster, Pete.
Well, tell me. Tell me why. Prove it to me. You knock on the door. What happens? How many times you knock on the door?
Twice with the standard knock I do.
Okay. Did Jeff come to the door?
No.
So did you let yourself in?
I went and smoked a cigarette first, thinking maybe he was just in the bathroom or he was running late. Not what you think, Pete.
Well, all we got right now is you at the door. You knocked on the door. You went and smoked a cigarette. Then what happened?
Should I have an attorney or no?
I can't tell you that, man. This is your life, man. This is your chance to tell us what happened. This is your chance to get it out there. You know? This is your chance to write your side of the story. That's all I can give you, is an opportunity. Okay? And that's what I'm trying to do. So what happened after you knocked on the door?
There's just no way. There's just no way. Can I please talk to my fiance?
You'll have a chance to talk to her. Okay? But I can't let you talk to her yet. Okay? You'll get a chance. I want you to be able to talk to her. You know? But I can't have you talk to her yet.
Why not?
Because I can't. You know, we gotta finish what we have to do here. And then you'll have an opportunity. She still has her phone. We didn't take it. We left it with her. You know, we don't want to leave her with, you know, a newborn baby and no phone.
Where's my son?
His mom's coming to get him.
Why would you take her phone?
We didn't take her phone. That's what I'm trying to tell you. She has her phone.
I don't even have the number.
Well, I'll make sure you have it before we leave here. So you got there before 8. You knocked on the door. No answer. You went and smoked a cigarette. What happened next?
Pete, what I did was wrong, but I didn't kill him. Okay? I did not kill anybody.
So what happened? How did you get into the house? You said the front door. It was unlocked. So you let yourself into the house.
I can't do it. I can't do it.
Where did you park the car?
I need an attorney, please, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I know this just makes you mad now,
It doesn't make me mad at all.
but yeah, it does. I know it does.
Do I look mad?
Will you at least just wait? Will you just, even if you won't give me her number, will you please just make sure she's okay?
I know for a fact she's okay.
Let's.
Before I came down here to talk to you, the other people that were at your apartment left, and they called me and said they left. They brought your son here. They took him to get food. We had to call his mom, obviously, because your fiance has no legal authority over him. Your fiance, Marie, did offer to watch him, but your ex-wife, I guess, wasn't okay with that. So she's coming here. We didn't want to have to call child protective service or anything like that. So there's somebody sitting with him upstairs until she gets here. And Marie and the baby are fine. The dogs are fine. Everybody's fine. Okay. Do you have any questions for me?
Other than her number.
Yeah, I'll make sure you have it with you. So what's going to happen, have you ever been arrested in Maryland before?
No, sir.
Okay. So you're going to go from here to the commissioner's office, like it said in the form that I read you, where you're going to get a copy of your arrest warrant. You're going to hear your charges and all that, and then just kind of go from there.
Yes, sir.
Let's see if they give you a bond or not. I can't imagine that they will. Just, being honest with you. Okay? Alright, I'll get in before we get out of here.
Where will I be able to call her from?
When you get to the central processing unit, you'll be able to call her there. Okay.
Thank you, Pete.
Yep.
Despite Billy's request for a lawyer, detectives were confident in their abundance of evidence. He was charged with first-degree murder and held without bail. Police uncovered that Phillips attempted to conceal his actions by forging and backdating checks worth $18,000, which he later deposited. Investigators believe Billy harbored resentment after being terminated in April of that year due to previous fraud allegations. It's speculated that Phillips initially went to Geoffrey Biddle's home to steal checks, but unexpectedly encountered his former boss, leading to a prolonged period of terrorizing Biddle in the basement. In February 2023, Phillips admitted guilt to first-degree murder, home invasion, armed robbery, and using a firearm in a felony. The state's attorney's office announced on May 1st that Phillips received a life sentence plus an additional 65 years. State's Attorney John McCarthy remarked, "This case is among the most evil that we have seen. The murder of Geoffrey Biddle was calculated and brutal. The defendant had a history of escalating criminal behavior, and we thank Judge Smith for this sentence, which will ensure he no longer poses a threat to the community."